There's a purchase you've made that didn't make sense until you were honest about who it was really for. Not for you, for the version of you that other people see, for the room you were about to walk into, for someone who may not have even noticed. This is status signaling, and it's not vanity, it's older than that. Your brain learned early that being perceived a certain way meant safety, belonging, access. The purchase isn't irrational, it's just solving a social problem with a financial tool. If this is recognizable, the Wealth Leak Audit has a full section on status signaling, 5 specific questions that identify which purchases you're making for an audience rather than yourself. It's free at gumroad.com/l/leakaudit, also linked in the description and pinned in the top comment. Now, moving on. The mechanism works like this. Before you make a status purchase, you picture someone, not consciously, but the image is there. A person, a room, a version of yourself that this purchase would make real. The purchase doesn't follow the desire. The desire follows the image. And the image was always about being seen. Here's the part nobody says directly. The people you're buying for usually aren't watching. They're thinking about themselves the same way you're thinking about them. The audience for your status purchases is largely imaginary, and you're paying real money to perform for it. The fix isn't to stop caring what people think. That's not realistic, and it's not the point. The fix is to notice the image before the purchase. To ask, who is this actually for? Here's what that moment looks like in practice. You're standing in a store, or you have a tab open, and the thing you're considering purchasing is right there. Before you close the tab or hand over the card, you hold it for 3 seconds and you answer the question honestly, not out loud, just to yourself. If the honest answer is, I would still want this if no one ever knew I had it, buy it. That's a real want. If the honest answer is, the point is that someone knows, that's data. Not a reason to stop automatically, but data worth knowing. Most status purchases don't survive the question. The ones that do are usually worth it. There's a version of this that runs in the opposite direction, and it's worth naming because it's less obvious. Some people underspend on themselves, specifically to avoid looking like they care about appearances. They won't buy the better version of something because they don't want to seem like someone who buys the better version of something. They perform low status as a signal to themselves, to the people around them, to some internal audience that's watching for signs of vanity. Same mechanism, opposite expression. The invisible audience is still there. The performance is still costing something, just in a different currency. Comfort they denied themselves. Quality they traded away. The quiet resentment of never quite having what they actually wanted. Both patterns come from the same place. Spending organized around how it looks rather than what it's actually for. The direction doesn't matter. The audience that isn't watching is expensive either way. Spend on what you'd buy if no one would ever see it. That's the baseline. Everything above that is worth examining. Not eliminating, examining. Some of it will still make sense. Some of it will surprise you. If this helped, like and subscribe. The free leak audit is at gumroad.com/l/leakaudit and in the description. New video every Wednesday. I'll see you then.